Hey everyone, it's Shaylee. Today I'm getting ready for family photos. We do this usually spring. We're a little late this year, but that's okay. We're doing it. But I just wanted to get ready. I'm personally getting ready for like outdoor, out in a field family photos. But I wanted to throw some tips in here just for photo shoot makeup, whether you're doing it outside like this or maybe for like a professional headshot, something like that. Just some tips for makeup. I really do have to go leave and get my picture taken, so that's the quickest intro ever, but I hope you enjoy the video and let's get ready. We're rolling. Hey, I'm Tanner. If you normally watch my channel, you could tell I'm Tanner right now, and it's because I used this that I just got in my Sephora haul, the Coco and Eve Sunny Honey Bronzing Foam. But I did just want to point out, because my hands are going to be in the camera a lot, I left it on my hands a little too long. I feel like usually what I'll do is wash my hands. If it's like a 2-hour bronzer, I'll wash my hands about an hour in, and that tends to help just because our hands are so dry. At least mine always are from washing them and stuff. It just like to any tanner. So I don't think it's that. I think it's just because I didn't wash it off soon enough, because every single rest of my part of my body I really like. It looks very natural. I had like a horrible tank top tan, so it kind of blended that a little bit, but yeah, the rest of my legs look good. I can't kick them up there as much because the belly, guys, the belly. My belly looks tan too. It's nice. Gonna get my hair out of the way and then moisturize. So for my routine when I do picture makeup, or even when I do other people's makeup, I always do like normal skin prep, just the same as if it was a normal day. So the difference when you're doing photo makeup, you know, special event makeup, anything that's going to be photographed, you want it to be just a little bit more, everything a little bit more, but you don't want to go too wild off of what you normally do, because it's just not the day to test out crazy new things, right? So I'm gonna do all my normal skin prep, which is like moisturizer, eye cream, but the only thing I am gonna add in that I don't normally do is an oil control moisturizer. I wouldn't say that I'm oily, but I put something like this on every single like bride, bridesmaid, mom of the bride, you know, maternity photos, engagement photos. I always put a oil control moisturizer on the person, even if they're dry, because I'll do this and then I'll put another additional moisturizer. But this just helps when it's 100 degrees outside. At least that's what it's like where I live, and that's what it's going to be like tonight when we take pictures. So it just helps kind of control that, or sweat, you know. The one thing I will say is I don't use this one on clients anymore. It's why it's in my drawer, because it has sunscreen in it, and when you're taking photos, sometimes sunscreen can make you look shinier or like flashback white or lighter, you know. I don't have that problem because I put on so many layers, I never noticed that. So that's why I just saved this for myself. So I'll link this one just because it's drugstore, it's very easy to find, but I'll link the one I use on everyone else that's in my kit. I just wasn't gonna walk downstairs again and get it because mama's tired. I'm not gonna describe every little thing, but do your eye cream, do your moisturizer, everything you normally do. Another thing I do want to say is I normally like glowy products, so I'm putting that on. If I was doing like real estate headshots, or if I was doing like an indoor headshot makeup for a photo, I wouldn't put a bunch of glowy stuff on. It really depends on the vibe of what your photos are for. I'm wearing that outfit right there, actually, like burnt orange, gold accessories. My daughter's wearing creams and gold, so we're going kind of like boho vibes. So I want to be glowy. Always got to add the Dr. Pepper chapstick, Avi. Okay, next we're gonna do brows. Don't do anything too trendy. Like, I kind of give brides that tip, like just fill them in, because you don't want to look back on your photos in 10 years and be like, what was I thinking? I did this weird brow trend. Okay, so I just went ahead and filled in my brows like I normally do, which is pretty light. I just put like a clear brow gel in them and then put some hair strokes in sections of my brows that weren't, like, they don't naturally grow hair. But for photos, I'm going to take it a little bit extra. You don't want them to be like too fake and carved out looking, but all I'm going to do is take a color that's similar to your brow color. Like this one is just a medium brown for me, a little bit lighter even than my hair color. So I'm just going to go at the bottom of my brows with this powder and flick this up in here, just to like soften out those lines that I drew, and just blend everything and just fill them in a teeny bit more solidly. But still, I'm not like totally filling them in blocked. It's just throwing a little powder in them. Basically, if you have totally filled in fronts, mine are fake, so I have to fill that in. But if you just like throw some clear brow gel in your brows, and that's how you normally do it, then just throw a little extra brow powder just to like define them a little bit more. Okay, next thing. This is something, again, I never do anymore. Like carve out the underneath of my brows. This isn't 2016, right? So I'm going to use this really thin, this is like a color corrector that I sometimes use as concealer. So it's even thinner than a concealer and it's got kind of a pink tone to it. So I'm going to use this, but I'm not trying to like totally perfectly carve them out like with concealer, how we used to do. This is just very soft. Like I'm very softly on my brush and it's just kind of like a cleanup of anything that went a little wild, just so that again, everything's just a little bit more like structured and nice for photos and cleaned up. And do that with this little skinny flat brush. And you can totally use a concealer if you don't have something like that. Just use a teeny tiny bit. Okay, now you're gonna want to put on an eye primer. I like this one because see how it cancels out any of my like veins and stuff and my redness, but it's not a way different color than my skin, or like no color, you know, some of them are clear. This is my favorite one because it just kind of like brightens everything up for shadow. I do this every day, but you're definitely going to want to do this for pictures to create like a blank canvas so your eyes don't look dark. Okay, now eyeshadow, again, this is all so personal, but my one tip would be I wouldn't do like crazy glitter or like a cut crease or anything like that. Just make it like a soft contour of your natural eye. You could do cooler tones if you're wearing like blues or grays or something like that, or you like cool tones. Like I said, I'm wearing that orange outfit, so I'm gonna do like some burnt oranges and browns. So I'm just first gonna put like a nude, fluff it in there to contour my eye, like a nude brown. Next, I'm gonna put a warm brown in my crease, but I'm going to kind of keep it on the outer corner because again, I want to just make my eyes look bigger and more almond shaped today instead of so rounded like they are. I also am like making a winged shape, so if you want your eyes to look rounder, you can just keep it down low, but once I get to the edge, I kind of fade it out that way. All right, and then on the lid, I'm going to put kind of like a creamy vanilla color, and I would say this has some shine in it. It's like a satin, but not glitter, you know. Here's the part that is probably more important if you're trying to make your eyes look bigger. So I'm gonna do some liner, and I'm gonna only take, God, all I can hear is my dog's little feet on the hardwood, so I hope you can't hear it so much. I'm gonna only take it halfway across. I might end up putting black in there too, because I would suggest black typically. Like if you have dark brown eyes like me, I would suggest black for photos to have contrast, but I just never wear black eyeliner anymore. So I'm gonna start with brown, but I can always go back and add it. So this is another tip for photos, like start lighter, I guess. I never wear a thick winged liner anymore like that. If anything, I'll do like a little brow pen. Wear the gel, I haven't done it in a minute. So if you're rusty like me, that's okay. Like you can see it's kind of effed up right there, but that's okay because we're gonna go back with shadow anyways. It really doesn't matter. I just wanted to use the gel today because it's a little bit like longer wearing and bolder. But yeah, if you just get it on there, then you can perfect it with powder. And then right where you want it to kind of fade out, it's a good idea to use powder too, because it's like soft and just kind of dab and then it fades out and makes it really pretty. See? So if you like a weird squiggly line, just soften it with the powder. Okay, now here's where I'm just gonna go, and again, matching the burnt orange, I'm just gonna add some like cool, not cool, warm, but like cool color coordination here. And I'm just gonna use some warmer tones and like kind of blend the liner out a little in the outer corner so it's smokier with some of those warm orangey tones. But this is very specific to like what I'm wearing today. But you could just do this with like browns or grays, you know, whatever you're wanting to do. Once we add the lashes, this is just gonna look really pretty, having like the little smoky details. So see what I was doing there? Just like making it like smoky. So I'm gonna curl my lashes, put on mascara, and I'll be right back and we'll do like strip lashes. I never wear lashes, like I said, so I grabbed mine out of my kit. And of course, the Demi Wispies are probably what I would normally wear today that I'm out of, because I used them at my wedding yesterday. So I wanted to just show you a couple different styles that are my favorite, especially for photos. Demi Wispies are gone, of course, but then there's Wispies. These are both from Ardell. You can get them at Target, Amazon, and see how like the band where you glue it to your eye is super thin. You can see through the lashes, which I like. The difference between the Demis and these Wispies are just that the Demi Wispies are a little bit shorter overall, and they start out shorter. So they give more of a winged look, where the Wispies are like longer on the inner corner and kind of just more rounded, but they're very similar when you see them next to each other. But Demi Wispies are like a safe lash for everybody. Like they will work on everyone. So if you're nervous, buy those. If you have larger eyes and you want to make them look round, use these. These are some of my favorite for my eye shape. some new ones I'm obsessed with are 425s, which are a winged, this kind of looks like a demi wispy, but a little lighter. And if you see from the side, they have layers that are curly. So they're a little bit nicer, like quality, I would say, because they have those layers and they're just like nice and pointed at the tips of them. So they're fluffy looking. There's just so many good, like if you just go look at the Ardell section, so pretty. If you just want an overall like wispy, like if you did like just rounded smoky liner without a wing, these ones would look so pretty. If you just wanted something simple, 421s, that's just like a nice wispy lash. I think I'm gonna go with these 425s. By the way, mine are cut like that so I can store them in there, but you buy them in packs, they usually have like 4 or 5. So see this glue on here? That's from holding it to the plastic part of the thing they sell the lashes on. So take that off, pinch the lash and then pull this way so you don't mess up the eyelash. You want to make sure you're holding on really good to the part that you're gonna keep, you know? Okay, so what you want to do is set this on your eye. And if you're gonna glue it on normal, you just set it on there and you can measure. I have large eyes, so I never really have to trim them. So if I was gonna wear this whole lash, I would just glue it on right like that. But see how that brings darkness on the inner corner? I don't want that. I want to keep that all nice and light and almost start it like right where the liner starts, like a little more in than halfway, like about there. I want to keep that whole part bright. So you can see then that I'm going to need to trim some of the outer corner off. Is that better? There we go. About there. And you can test it again, set it on there, start with your outer corner now and see how far it goes in. Whoops, whoa, that's really pretty. I almost want to do just a teeny more. I think I am just going to do a teeny, like one more. I usually do it like in between those little grooves. So I'm going to cut that big guy off on the end. Okay, so now I like to take my glue and I just squeeze it out a little bit. And this is where a lot of people go wrong too. They use way too much. You literally need this much that I'm using, like the teeniest bit. Sometimes I will leave a little extra on the outer corners just so that, you know, your corners are nice and down, but you don't need a lot of glue at all. I'm gonna set that there. You have time too. People freak out about this. You have time. The worst thing that's gonna happen is the glue dries and you gotta put new glue on there. So this comes out gray, and this is why I really like this glue, because you're gonna see the color changes and then you know like, oh, it's go time, I'm ready. This is when you take a water break. I look at myself when I'm filming on my phone because it's kind of newer to me than using a camera. So I'm so sorry. I keep looking at myself instead of right there at the camera. So I don't mean to be weird. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but it's looking almost black. This is when you put it on. And you just want to tilt yourself back. I have a mirror down in front of me. Just like that. And when the glue is tacky, it's going to just grab like that. Get your outer corner on there. I'm pushing up from the bottom to like make sure it's down by my lashes and curled upward. That's another good thing for the tweezer. You can kind of get in there and pinch if that doesn't freak you out. So we already put our oil control moisturizer. Now, if you have like very textured skin, like it's peeling, or you have acne, something like that, I would use a smoothing primer here just to make your skin look smoother. I don't feel like I need an additional primer. I think the lotion, the oil control lotion, moisturizer, whatever, is my primer. And that's what helps it last long too, because it's oil controlling. But you know, again, this is going to depend on your skin. So I'm going to skip that. But if you feel like you're really oily or something and you need like long wear primer or something, put it on right now. Do what you normally do to make your makeup last. And then for pictures, I'm going to do way heavier coverage, way fuller coverage than I would do on a normal day. So I am using still my Laura Mercier foundation that I wear every single day, but I'm not going to cut it down with glow. Like normally what I do is mix in this from Kosas that's like a glowy moisturizer, kind of like what I already put on. I put it in there too. I'm not going to do that because I want more coverage today. And then I'm also putting in a little Rare Beauty just because I'm spray tanned right now and this is warmer. So I'm trying to just make myself the right color. They're both actually a medium coverage, but for me that's like enough because I normally wear pretty light coverage. So for me that's like photo makeup, medium coverage. I'm gonna scooch back so I can see my face and blend it right. So as you can see, this is tanner than my face, but don't worry, it's gonna match my neck. I'm spray tanned. See, starting to look all one color, right? I'm gonna go in again with like a real concealer, like my normal everyday makeup. Like I said, I use kind of a color corrector, or I just use a thin concealer. Recently, I got this Huda Beauty one that my favorite makeup artist on Instagram uses on her brides. Problem is, I bought it in the lightest shade. I'm spray tanned right now. So I am gonna use it because it's gonna give us lots of brightness under our eyes, but you don't need to go this many shades lighter. So again, I'm kind of having to mix because I'm just trying to create, this is the new concealer I got in my Sephora haul from Laura Mercier that's darker. So I'm going to put that in there, but I'm not trying to make it complicated. I just am trying to be intentional with my makeup purchases so I don't have as many colors anymore. I don't want to walk downstairs and get one out of my kit. I just would rather mix real quick, but just like pick a concealer that matches you or like is a shade or two lighter that's fuller concealer for a photo shoot day is the point. Oh, I forgot. I got my sponge out. I usually use a brush, but I bought this recently and it makes it so seamless. So I was like, get it out for pictures. See that? It makes it so pretty. You don't want just under your eyes to be bright because then it's very obvious that you have bright under eye concealer. Put a little on your nose, put a little on your forehead. That way that dimension is all over your face and it looks more natural because it's not only in one spot, you know? See how that carried the lightness everywhere else so it doesn't look just under eye brightener. Looks better. Now it's time to contour. I love these and I just think they're like the most user-friendly contour stick I have. They're from Merit Beauty. In pictures, I'm pregnant too, but I want to look all chiseled because I'm just trying to look my best, right? So we're going to put that everywhere you want to recede or look more bronzy, anything like that. And I just go back with my normal foundation brush. And that's also a really good way. I mean, sometimes I don't, but today, just to make it really blendy and make sure nothing's crazy, that's a foolproof way because you already have a little foundation in there. It just helps blend it. See how easy that is to blend? Like I would recommend these to anyone because I think they're just so user-friendly. They have a ton of colors. I think that's like the second or third color in. If your hair is going to be up in your photos, make sure everything you're doing, you're bringing back to your ear, okay? Mine isn't, but just in case, I just always carry my makeup back there anyway for photos. Hair gets flicked over. We take candids with my daughter and stuff, so you never know. Now, I like to go and set everything I'm doing. Bronzer right now, so because it's photo makeup, I'm going to be a little more precise too. So I'm going to take this kind of a brush versus like something like this and just fluffing around bronzer. I'm going to take this specific brush and I'm going to take just a matte bronzer, okay? Not a glowy one, matte. And I'm just going to kind of go over everywhere that we just put that other product. But this is just kind of locking it in place. I keep saying kind of. It is locking it in place. That's the point. That's why we're doing it. Just going over the exact same areas you just did. And then if you want at this point to be bronzier, that's when you can go in with like a fluffy brush and some shimmer bronze. I just got this one, so why not use this? It's a shit ton of makeup, okay? That's the difference of photo makeup and like everyday makeup or like special event makeup. Okay, now since I'm wearing that again for the millionth time, I wanted kind of an orangey, bronzy blush. Like here's one from NARS. It's called Torrid, right? Oh no, it's called Luster. This is Warm Soul from MAC, a little bit more peachy instead of so corally orange. I've got this NARS one. So again, with the layers, I think I'm gonna do, you don't have to do this, but for photos again, if you layer things, it just lasts longer. And liquids tend to blend more natural sometimes. So if you're scared of it looking like too rosy cheeky, use a liquid while you're doing your foundation and stuff, and then go over top with like your setting powder and it'll blur it out. But I love blush, so I'm gonna just use two that are the same kind of color just to make it like really hold and stand out in the heat too. Like if you get hot, sometimes your face kind of like soaks up the makeup. Do you ever feel like that? I do. It like eats the makeup, so you gotta put extra layers. People always would be like, do all your liquids before powders, and I feel like I just kind of layer. You just got to be careful and do thin. Definitely wear blush in a photo. Make sure you have blush on. It's going to warm you back up because if you're wearing full coverage foundation and then no like blush and bronzer, you're going to look all one color and it's going to look weird. Okay, I like to do my under eye setting powder last because it can help blend all of this right here now. You can really use anything. This is an old Kylie one I have. See how that just softens all this up though, and it doesn't look so stark white underneath anymore from the concealer. And especially if you have visible pores, like take that right in here. If you want for photos, you can carve out under your cheeks. I'll just do it real quick to show you, but I don't do this most of the time on myself, but you totally can. Bake a little bit And taking this step will make your contour last longer. That's why I love these brushes or these sponges with the flat edges. I'm not super into like highlight right now, but like I said, if you're a bride or a bridesmaid or you're doing family photos, you can do a highlight. If you're like real estate agent in the office, it's really case by case, but I just feel like if it was that kind of like professional photo, I would be very selective with using like a bunch of glow, because you're just trying to look like yourself but better. You're not trying to look like, ooh, sun-kissed bronzy, you know what I mean? Where like for my kind of photos you are. This is a blush actually from Selena Gomez. I just wanted to use it because it's new and I added a little bit of pink, but see how it added glow? So you could do that, or you could do a highlighter. And it does that bakage off. And I'm gonna go back underneath my eyes. I'm not gonna do much, but I am, gosh, I'm so sorry, my nose itches. I am gonna do mascara. I put mascara on bottom. I thought I was recording, but apparently I wasn't. I might have put a little tiny shadow right here too. I can't remember if I hit go for that part, but basically I was saying that if you're back here for a photo, you know, you want something down there, even if you're keeping it light. I took just like a shadow stick that's light and I put it in the waterline just to keep it nice and bright, but then I did put mascara. This is when I would take my mascara, lift my eye up and just put it in the base, just to mush my real lashes with the false ones. But don't pull it through, because then you're gonna lose all that pretty wispiness that the false lash gives you, and it's gonna clump it all together. My tips for lips, lip tips, if you will. You can get really fancy and do a lip primer. I don't have one with me, but I used to do that a lot. Especially if you're using a liquid lip, it's not a bad idea, just because those can be so drying. But my main tip is just to use all three. At least use two. Use a liner and a lipstick and a gloss if you want your lips glossy and not matte. Again, it just depends what look you're going for, but the more layers, the longer things last. Especially liner lipstick combo. You need that for photos. Sorry, I just walked up and down my stairs. This was in my purse because I wore it yesterday. So I'm gonna do like a brown nude. And here's the thing, if you're gonna do a nude lip for pictures, do a darker liner, because you don't want it to look like you have no lips. That's not what any of us are going for, right? Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say right now. This is never what you wanna do. Ever, like for any normal day, but especially for photos, pairing liner with lipstick, don't just do a line, because then let's say it starts wiping off halfway through your pictures or something, you're gonna see it. And I do like to really do like a way darker liner and a nuder lip, because it just makes it look more 3D for pictures. It looks really pretty and like contoured. So just put it on the edges and kind of soften it. So I'll show you, you'll see the difference of this. So see how that's like more like blended, that line. You could stop there, but if you do want to get fancy, take a lip brush. Because here's the thing, when you put on your lipstick and you're moving around, it's going to blend itself, you know, but if you want, you can kind of go back and like actually blend. So whenever I'm doing makeup on other people, I'm like, can you smile? I just say that a lot. Or I'll like hold their lip so it's straight so I could see what I'm doing, because a lot of people go like, and then do you do your own lips like that? No, you smile, you stretch them. So that's all we're doing, is like, because making sure there's no skips, you know. And I'll lean back, and to me, like this side's looking rounder than this side, so I'll kind of round it. But you're gonna be smiling in your photos. Oh my gosh, Noisy Nails is back. My Gracie girl. Okay, this is another tip I like to do. MAC Studio Fix powder. It's a medium coverage foundation powder. I like to take this on an angle brush. See where like it got a little blurry right there? Like kind of just, I over blended it out or something. You can sharpen it up on the outside. My old MAC manager Chelsea taught me this. Kind of like insurance for lip liner. It's like lip liner on the outside of the lip liner, sharpening up that edge. This is called Yes Honey. I just got it from Charlotte Tilbury. It's a brown. Nude in the middle, so pretty. One I also really like from the drugstore is called Baddest Beige. Gracie's hiding under my feet, if you can still hear her. Just see how that like looks 3D because the inside's lighter. I really like that, how it looks. Okay, if you use something like this, it's got a gloss. Whoa, it's got a gloss to it. But if you don't, I would say just add a little gloss in the middle. I really like these Fenty ones, but this is a little dark. I kind of want like something nuder. So I'm gonna put that from NARS. It's a little pink for what I'm doing, but that's okay. And it's like 2 hours before I'm gonna take pictures. So this is all gonna soften. Because right now it's a little bit like I don't know. I feel like lipstick always looks better like 20 minutes later. Okay, now setting. Setting is so important because we could put a ton of makeup on. I recently started using this and I really like it. It's Charlotte Tilbury Setting Mist Party All Night, Stay All Day. I don't have oily skin. If you do, I think the Urban Decay setting sprays are great. There's like a de-slick one if you're oily. All Nighter by Urban Decay is good. This one's a little more skin finish glowy. So if you're just normal to dry, that's a great one. It's so pretty and just, I really like that one a lot actually. I feel like that's kind of it for right now. So see, for pictures, it's like we don't have weird carved out brows, but they're defined. We kept right in here nice and bright, make us look awake in our photos. Another thing you can do for photos is put some eye drops in, like some anti-redness eye drops. These are just liquid tears, artificial tears, of course they're liquid, just to brighten up your eyes for the photo. But yeah, I'm gonna do my hair and put on my outfit and come back and show you guys. And thanks for getting ready with me. I know it was like very personal what I'm doing, but I tried to drop tips along the way about like just general tips. So if you have any questions though, if anything was confusing, just leave it in the comments below, please, and I will help you. Okay, whew, it's starting to be go time. Last thing I'm gonna do, because I do want glow for like a outdoor family photos, is take, this is just Lumi Glotion from L'Oreal. Oh, I gotta put my earrings in too. And I'm just gonna put this everywhere. See how pretty that is? Drugstore, who knew? I spent all this money on this body oil from Patrick Ta, and it's beautiful, but the packaging broke and it won't even like spray out anymore. So just go get yourself some Lumi Glotion. My husband's wrangling my daughter. She just woke up from her nap and she wasn't very happy. I had to already bribe with ice cream.